What if the secret to a powerful life isn't hidden in motivation, but in mastering just 7 timeless habits? Habits that shift you from reacting to leading, from chaos to clarity, from success to significance. Welcome to the Leadership Code, your trusted space for personal growth, leadership mastery, and meaningful transformation. This is more than just another video. It's the beginning of a mindset shift. Today, we begin exploring one of the most influential books of our time, Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. For over 3 decades, this globally celebrated work has empowered millions to rise above quick fixes and build character-based, principle-centered lives. Covey teaches that true effectiveness doesn't start with changing the world. It starts with changing yourself. And in our modern world, where distraction is constant, burnout is rising, and reactive living feels like the norm, Covey's message has never been more urgent. His timeless habits are a compass for navigating chaos with clarity, responding with integrity, and leading with purpose. This audiobook-style summary will walk you through each habit in depth, offering actionable insights you can apply to your relationships, your career, your goals, even your sense of identity. Whether you're a student, a professional, or simply someone ready to reclaim direction and depth in your life, this series is designed for you. And if you're serious about personal growth, don't forget to subscribe to the Leadership Code. We release powerful book summaries and leadership lessons every week, so you can grow, lead, and transform with each new episode. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an insight. So get ready, because this isn't just a summary. It's a step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Be proactive. Take responsibility for your life. What if your greatest power isn't what happens to you, but how you choose to respond? In this foundational habit, Stephen R. Covey introduces the idea that real change begins from the inside out. Being proactive means taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions, instead of blaming circumstances, people, or external forces. Covey makes a sharp distinction between proactive and reactive people. Reactive individuals let the weather, moods, or others' opinions determine their behavior. Proactive individuals act on principles and values, regardless of the situation. A powerful example Covey shares is the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who discovered that while he couldn't control his external reality, he could control his inner response. That ability to choose our response is at the core of our human freedom. Covey also introduces the circle of concern versus circle of influence model. Most people spend energy worrying about things outside their control: global events, other people's opinions, or the past. Proactive people focus on what they can influence, like their habits, mindset, and behavior. And as they do, their circle of influence naturally grows. The key takeaway? You are not a product of your conditions. You are a product of your decisions. Every moment, you have the power to rewrite your story. So before we journey to habit 2, ask yourself, are you living by reaction or by design? Chapter 2. Begin with the end in mind. Define your personal values and life goals. What would people say about you if today were your last day? Would they speak of purpose or busyness, character or accomplishment? Stephen R. Covey opens this chapter with a life-altering question. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? In this second habit, Covey challenges us to live intentionally by visualizing the legacy we want to leave. It's not about short-term success or productivity. It's about clarity of purpose. When you begin with the end in mind, you stop running on autopilot. Instead, you align your actions with your deepest values. Covey teaches that everything is created twice. First in the mind, then in the real world. Successful lives, just like buildings, start with a blueprint. Without that vision, we risk success in the wrong things. A powerful takeaway from this chapter is the concept of a personal mission statement, a written expression of what truly matters to you. It becomes your inner compass, helping you navigate roles, decisions, and relationships with purpose. Covey gives examples of people who appeared outwardly successful but felt empty inside, because their lives lacked meaning. Without a clearly defined why, achievement becomes hollow. But with it, even ordinary moments gain extraordinary depth. The core lesson. When you define who you want to be, you're far more likely to become that person. Now, before we journey into habit 3, ask yourself, are you climbing the ladder of success, only to find it leaning against the wrong wall? Chapter 3. Put first things first. Prioritize what truly matters. Ever feel like your day is full, yet your life feels empty? Stephen R. Covey now invites us to take action on the values we defined in Habit 2. This chapter is all about living our priorities, not just planning them. Most of us get caught in a whirlwind of urgent tasks. Calls, emails, deadlines. We confuse busyness with effectiveness. But Covey says, the key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. He introduces the powerful time management matrix, which sorts activities into 4 quadrants. A quadrant I, urgent and important. Crises, emergencies. A quadrant 2, not urgent but important. Planning, relationships, personal growth. A quadrant 3, urgent but not important. Interruptions, distractions. A quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. Time wasters. Highly effective people spend most of their time in quadrant 2. That's where long-term results are born, through conscious investment in prevention, learning, and meaningful connection. Covey gives examples of leaders and professionals who begin their week by putting important but not urgent activities, like family time, health, planning, and self-renewal, on the calendar first. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. One of the most valuable lessons here is that saying yes to what matters often means saying no to what doesn't. Discipline, clarity, and courage are essential. So, before we step into the world of collaboration in Habit 4, ask yourself, are you choosing your schedule, or is your schedule choosing you? Chapter 4. Think win-win. Seek mutually beneficial solutions in relationships. In a world obsessed with winning, what if true success meant everyone walked away better? Stephen R. Covey's 4th habit, Think Win-Win, introduces a radical shift from competition to collaboration. It's built on one simple yet powerful belief. There is enough success, love, recognition, and opportunity to go around. Rather than seeing life as a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another's loss, Covey urges us to adopt an abundance mindset. Win-win thinking means you don't settle for a victory that leaves someone else feeling defeated. You aim for solutions where both sides feel respected, valued, and satisfied. Covey explains that win-win isn't soft or naive. It's a courageous and principled way of living. It requires integrity, staying true to your values, maturity, balancing courage with consideration, and a deep respect for relationships. He also explores 6 possible paradigms of human interaction. A win-win, mutual benefit. A win-lose, I succeed, you fail. A lose-win, I give in, you win. A lose-lose, everyone loses, often out of spite. A win, I win, no concern for you. A win-win or no deal, either both win or we walk away. Covey shares that many conflicts, whether in marriage, business, or parenting, stem from win-lose thinking. But those who embrace win-win don't just build deals. They build trust. And trust, in Covey's view, is the true currency of effective relationships. The lesson is clear. Real leadership lifts others while rising. Now, as we step into Habit 5, ask yourself, are you listening to reply or listening to truly understand? Chapter 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Practice empathetic listening. Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt unheard, like the other person was just waiting for their turn to speak? Stephen R. Covey believes that the deepest need of the human heart is to be understood, and yet, so few of us truly listen. Habit 5 is about flipping the script. Instead of rushing to fix, persuade, or respond, we learn to listen with empathy. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. They project their own story into yours, using phrases like, I know exactly how you feel, or that's nothing, let me tell you about my situation. Covey calls this autobiographical listening, where we filter everything through our own lens. But real connection begins when we pause and truly try to see the world from the other person's perspective. Covey introduces empathetic listening, not just hearing words, but listening to feelings, meanings, and even what's left unsaid. When we listen this way, people naturally open up. Why? Because they feel safe, seen, and respected. Only after understanding someone deeply should we seek to be understood. Covey compares this to giving a prescription before diagnosing, risky and ineffective. But when you understand first, your influence grows. Your words carry weight because they're built on trust. One powerful lesson in this chapter is this: communication is not a technique, it's a reflection of character. And when we lead with humility and empathy, our relationships change for the better. Now, as we prepare to explore Habit 6, ask yourself, are you building bridges with your words, or just trying to win arguments? Chapter 6. Synergize. Unlock the power of creative cooperation. What if 1 + 1 could equal 3 or more? That's the power of synergy. In this chapter, Stephen R. Covey shows us that when we genuinely value differences of perspective, background, and strength, we open the door to results none of us could achieve alone. Synergy isn't just teamwork, it's creative collaboration. It's when the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Covey emphasizes that synergy thrives on respect and openness. It means listening not just to reply, but to genuinely understand. When people feel safe to express ideas, especially those that are different or unconventional, solutions emerge that are richer, bolder, and more effective. He shares examples of business leaders, educators, and families who found breakthrough solutions, not by demanding uniformity, but by harnessing diversity. One of the most powerful examples involves nature itself, a forest ecosystem, where variety creates strength, balance, and resilience. But synergy isn't automatic. It requires habits 4 and 5. Think win-win and seek first to understand, as a foundation. Without mutual respect, synergy turns into compromise at best. With it, creativity and trust explode. The big lesson? When we embrace differences as opportunities instead of threats, we don't just cooperate, we co-create. Now, before we move into Habit 7, ask yourself, when was the last time you welcomed a perspective that challenged your own, and let it make you better? Chapter 7. Sharpen the saw. Renew yourself regularly in body, mind, heart, and spirit. Imagine trying to saw down a tree with a dull blade, and refusing to stop and sharpen it. That's how many of us live, pushing, grinding, striving, without pausing to renew the one instrument that fuels it all, ourselves. In this final habit, Stephen R. Covey introduces the powerful idea of self-renewal. He calls it Habit 7, Sharpen the saw. It's about preserving and enhancing your greatest asset, you, by investing in 4 key areas of life. 1. Physical, caring for your body through proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and stress management. 2. Mental, feeding your mind through continuous learning, reading, writing, and critical thinking. 3. Emotional/social, building deep, healthy relationships and maintaining emotional balance and empathy. 4. Spiritual, connecting with values and purpose through prayer, meditation, reflection, or time in nature. Covey emphasizes that true effectiveness is sustainable only when we consistently renew ourselves in each dimension. This habit empowers you to prevent burnout, find clarity, and maintain long-term momentum. Not just success, but significance. Real-life application? Take time daily or weekly to reflect, to grow, to reconnect with what matters. Schedule that walk. Read a meaningful book. Have an honest conversation. Practice gratitude. These aren't luxuries. They're your lifeline to becoming who you're meant to be. The key insight. Renewal isn't something you add to your to-do list. It's the habit that fuels all the others. When you sharpen the saw, you return to life stronger, clearer, and more prepared to lead. Practical suggestions and call to action. Start small. Choose one renewal activity this week. Maybe a morning walk, journaling session, or digital detox, and protect that time. And make it regular. Just like brushing your teeth, consistent self-renewal builds resilience and clarity over time. Reflect intentionally. Ask yourself weekly, am I investing in the areas that help me grow, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? Now that you've journeyed through all 7 habits of highly effective people, the real transformation begins. Which habit will you practice today? And which one will shape your tomorrow? Thanks for listening. If you found value in this audiobook summary, please consider subscribing to the Leadership Code. We bring you more inspiring book summaries, timeless leadership lessons, and empowering weekly discussions, designed to help you grow into the person and leader you're meant to be. Hit that subscribe button now, so you never miss a moment of growth. Until next time, keep growing, keep leading.